So I'm not usually the guy that picks up my camera and makes a vlog, but this week I'm spending the week in Tenerife and I would like to do so because I've got some cool things on the menu. And spoilers, I'll be cycling quite a bit. But right now my bike is still in my bike box, so I gotta put it together first. So for a bit of context, Tenerife is basically one giant mountain, one giant volcano called Teide. Just like most climbs, there's multiple sides to this mountain, basically multiple ways to get to the top. Now, one of those ways to the top starts right here, where I'm staying in Puerto de Santiago. And if we take a look at the profile from right here all the way to the top of Mount Teide, it's a 51-kilometer climb. But as you can see, the first 6 kilometers are the hardest. Basically up to Tamaimo, and that's the part I want to try today. So yeah, let's go for a ride, shall we? Los Gigantes is the first village we passed through, widely known for the acantilados de los Gigantes. These giant rock formations, absolutely stunning. I gotta say, after 2 kilometers of 8%, 3% feels like heaven to me. Anyway, I reckon we're almost halfway. What a view! Holy shit! You don't realize how high you've climbed until you see the drop to where you started. Here we go, Tamaimo. We've done it. Whoa, that was quite steep in places, I won't lie. And that's only the first 7 kilometers of this volcano. 43 more to get to the top, so that won't be for today. 15 kilometers, 500 meters altitude in 1 hour and 30 minutes. A solid first ride. But on day 2, I wanted to take it one step further, taking on the biggest climb I've ever done. Santiago del Teide, 14 kilometers at 6.5%. The first 7k of this ride are basically the same as my last ride, all the way to Tamaimo. But despite cooler temperatures, I was suffering a lot more. I won't lie, I'm not feeling good right now. Last time up to Tamaimo, felt a lot smoother. Here we go, Tamaimo. We're basically halfway. So I'm about to exit Tamaimo, and on paper, from this point onwards, it should be a little bit easier. So let's hope that's the case. Here we go. We've made it. The village of Santiago del Teide. Whew. I'm so done. Oh. There we go. So yeah, that was my biggest outdoor climb ever, Santiago del Teide, and I gotta be honest, I've got a pretty weird feeling about it. Back in 2023 when I climbed my first mountain outdoors called Ordino, when I came to the top, I felt really fulfilled. Now this climb, Santiago del Teide, was kinda just arriving at a village and turning back, so there was less fulfillment. That being said, 14 kilometers at 6.5% is the hardest climb I've ever done outdoors, so I should be proud. But the thing is, I'm not done with Tenerife yet. I've got one more thing I want to try here, and it absolutely terrifies me. In 2 days, I want to climb the entire Teide volcano. But first of all, I'm gonna have a rest day. Anyway, 2 rides down, nearly 1,500 altitude meters, but that number is, in volcanic terms, about to erupt. Because day 4 is my Teide, the day I tried to climb the Teide volcano. Like, it's not the steepest climb with gradients around 5%, but the difficulty lies in its length. A massive 51 kilometers from Puerto de Santiago through Tamaimo, past Chirche, all the way to the top. Okay, today's the day. Let's do this. Wait, before we start, climbing Teide, 51 kilometers? This will undoubtedly be my longest ride in the saddle ever. I reckon around 6 hours. That's where nutrition and in these temperatures, hydration becomes really important. Thing is, on the volcano itself, it's very difficult to actually find water. But in the village called Chio, there is a gas station, so that's where I want to stock up on water. Okay, hydration check, but what about nutrition? That is where the sponsor of today's video comes in, For Endurance. Their Endurance Energy Unit gels will be essential to keep me fueled throughout the entire ride. As you know, I'm a major fan of the lemon flavor. Anyway, For Endurance is my go-to place for cycling nutrition, so be sure to check out forendurance.com and try their gels and bars yourself. 3, 2, 1, let's go. I'm not kidding, my bike computer is telling me 50.4k to go, 2,360 altitude meters, 7 hours, 37 minutes. F*** me. Not sure how much I'll be able to talk during today's effort because it's gonna be suffering all the way to the top, guys. Once again, the ride starts by heading to Tamaimo, and these first 6 kilometers are basically the steepest segment of the entire climb, so I can't afford to overextend here. It's time for a first break. So last time at the end of the street we went left to Santiago del Teide. Today we're gonna go to the right because we want to go to that road on that mountain over there. Because that should bring us eventually to Teide. Am I feeling great? Not necessarily, but I'm feeling better than last time. So hopefully we can make it. I'm not super comfortable eating on the bike yet, so this break was the perfect time to smash in our first Endurance Energy Unit gel. Anyway, back on the bike, let's go to Chio. Normally, for the next couple of kilometers, the climb should be easier, 3 to 5%, so if that's the case, I'm good. And yes, that is true, the climb was less steep here, and on top of that, the sun was hiding behind the mountain, so it was a little cooler here. But the thing is, this road was climbing up gradually on the side of a cliff, and most people would love that because it's absolutely stunning. What a fantastic view. That over there is where we started, Puerto de Santiago. But I'll be honest, I wasn't actually enjoying this as much as I should be because I've got major fear of heights. So I spent the entire 2-3 kilometers on this cliffside absolutely terrified. But I know these fears are not rational, so I just kept going. So we're about 10 kilometers in. I'm feeling pretty great right now, but it's also kind of just 1.5% here, so would be bad if I felt bad. Anyway, a few kilometers later, it was time for our most important stop of the entire ride, the gas station in Chio. And as planned, I stocked up on water, I filled my bidons, I drank some water, and I got started again. And this is where the volcano part of Mount Teide truly began. So, we're stocked up on water, 38 kilometers to the top, and it's all about the grind to the top now, because it's all 4, 5, 6% for such a long time. So, mentally, extremely hard. At this point, I had basically climbed as much as Santiago del Teide, my biggest climb ever so far. But I was feeling really good. I'm still standing, do 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 do. La 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 la. I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it was time to lock in. It was time to make some kilometers. Had to stop to switch the camera battery, so I might as well quickly get a bit of a juice bar in. I know this is already my biggest climb ever outdoors, so every kilometer I do, every altitude meter, it's a personal record, so let's keep pushing. But at this point, I'm on the bike for 3 hours already, and I gotta say, I was starting to feel it, both physically and mentally. But hey, at least the surroundings were absolutely beautiful. As you can probably tell, I was really struggling here. Oh, I'm riding like 6.5k an hour. This road is endless. I'm mentally so done. With 25 kilometers of climbing in the legs, this was the first time I thought about actually giving up. But then the forest around me disappeared and I started seeing literally everything, including the entire top of Mount Teide. And let's be honest, seeing your destination, that gives motivation. But obviously, legs don't run on motivation alone, so I had to fuel up. And I simply tried to keep thinking every single meter is a personal record, even if I don't make it to the top. But from this point onwards, this climb was torture to me. Oh, why am I doing this? This is so stupid. I can't do this, man. Come on. Why did I choose to become a fucking cycling YouTuber? Anything else? Golf? Fishing? So much easier. Man. I'm not doing this, guys. I'm sorry, but I just can't. Like, physically I'm getting empty. Mentally I'm empty. Man, I'm not making this. I'm so sorry. I'm not doing this. This is the end. I'm so close, but I have nothing. I've got nothing. Absolutely nothing. This morning I woke up and I felt this fear of failure. But now that I'm here, I don't even feel bad about the fact that I won't make the top. I just want to go home. Stop whining, Benji, and get on the bike. I'm done. I'm completely done. That's Teide right there, and I'm not making it. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going home. So yeah, after 5 hours and 15 minutes in the saddle, 33 kilometers of climbing, 1,900 altitude meters, I finally gave up. But I have to say, this descent of Teide definitely made up for my sadness. Easily the most beautiful descent I've done in my entire life. And to be honest, definitely worth the suffering. But then when I got home, the hardest challenge of the entire day still had to come. Climbing the stairs to my apartment. I can't do this. Yeah, I think it's fair to say I was completely done for. I feel like I just got hit by a train, but hey, the ride is done. I'm happy it's over. Next up, recovery. Put my Isobar compression socks on, drank my recovery shake, and I'm gonna go to bed now. But that ride was the end of my fantastic week in Tenerife. Nearly 3,300 altitude meters, nearly 10 hours in the saddle. Ever since I came to Tenerife 2 years ago to climb my first 10-kilometer climb ever, I feel like Teide was on my wish list. A climb I wanted to do, a climb that always seemed completely unattainable. Now, reality is today I tried climbing Teide and I didn't actually reach the top, but I'm not actually too unhappy about it. Like, before this week started, my biggest outdoor climb I had ever done was 9.8 kilometers at 7.1%, called Volcano in Andorra. Now, it's way longer, my biggest climb. I first started by expanding to Santiago del Teide, which was roughly 14k, 6.5%, but now it's 32.5 kilometers at 5.6%. That's a massive climb I just did. I've always enjoyed the thought of setting unattainable goals in the hopes that I can reach towards a goal that might not be that unattainable goal, but on the way there, you know? And therefore, that unattainable goal might eventually not be so unattainable anymore. Like, sure, those 32.5 kilometers are not the 51-kilometer climb that I hope to climb when I started this week, but at the end of the day, it's the first time in 2 years that I feel like climbing the entire 51 kilometers is something that is realistic for me in the next year. So yeah, I just climbed my biggest outdoor climb ever, 32.5 kilometers, and I'm proud of it. That being said, that was a horrible experience, and I'm not looking forward to doing that again anytime soon.